What's the movie?
He is scary. Okay, so the next movie we're going to do is The Purge.
The beginning.
The beginning.
And here's a clip.
Tonight allows people a release for all the hatred and violence that they keep up inside them.
This won't bring him back. It won't make you feel any better. Thank you.
It is a night that is defining our country.
Citizens, this will be a tradition we celebrate every year. Join the First Purge.
Isaiah, come say bye.
Go do your thing, sis.
Always.
I'll see you tonight.
People are now calling this controversial experiment of legalized crime the purge.
Do not purge!
Do not purge!
You and Isaiah, just stay with me during the purge.
Oh, we're gonna be fine on our own.
We are here with Dr. May Updale. She came up with this experiment. Is the purge a political device?
It is a psychological one. If we want to save our country, we must release all our anger in one night.
Tonight, we'll see the good and evil in everyone.
The Purge, the beginning, is
my movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Purge came out the first one, which was the Ethan Hawke one, which was just The Purge or Purge. And I watched it and I thought, wow, it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting concept and just really forward in
where our society is headed.
Yeah. Well, I did, at that point, I didn't think that. I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking as a movie that this movie was just a little progressive in as a horror or thriller. It's more of a thriller, not horror.
Yeah.
A thriller movie. And then I saw Purge: The Beginning. And I have to tell you, it physically made me ill.
Why?
Because it's based on killing all the low-income people.
Yeah, it's another message.
Because and honestly, I got to tell you, I forgot who's in it. I think it's Sarah Paulson.
Marisa Tomei.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I apologize, Sarah. Apologize, Marisa Tomei.
Yes, Dr. Updale.
So she's the one who is basically the psychiatrist organizing the it's just in a blocked area, meaning 10 city blocks that they're first attempting this. I mean, I watched the entire movie, of course, but it made me physically ill. That they're doing this, and for me, I'm like, okay, they're setting this up, The Purge, just like the Ethan Hawke movie, and this was how they set it up. And basically, this is I'm thinking, this is what I'm watching. This is how it began, the beginning. This is how it began. But then when that fucker took over and knocked off Marisa Tomei, I don't think I'm giving anything away here. But
Patch, no. Arlo Sabian was his character.
Yes. So when he comes in, and she's, because some of it's not working. People are partying, people are dancing, people are like, tra-la-la, having a good time. And it's really not working because human compassion, people,
beats out the rest.
It beats out the rest for the most part, for the majority
also,
of people.
everybody in that area, they all know each other.
They all know each other, right? Exactly, because later on they bring in. So then, the movie continues and we realize that this government / guy who is part of the approval process of what Marisa Tomei is doing, that's where it made me just...
sick?
I was floored. Yeah, sick. I was just like, I didn't know it was going this path. I didn't realize that it was...
Really?
That was the direction of it, huh?
That they were... even though it was well written, well acted, well... visualized, cinematography. I think everything was great. If we're picking apart, I just couldn't
stomach that part.
Stomach the intent of the movie.
Got it. Church.
I have a different take on that.
Me too. It's interesting
because I actually haven't seen the first one.
First
saw a
one's
little bit.
fabulous.
I saw a little bit, but then I had to do something, so I stopped watching it. But I have seen the second one, the third one, and this one. And
15th and
yeah,
the
and I love the second one. But if you see the other ones, the second one and third one, okay, one thing about like you said, that they picked this particular area to do it. Now, to me, it makes sense because they're trying to do an experiment. So they offer people money to participate in the experiment.
Right.
So if they were doing it in LA, they will go to the lowest neighborhood. They're anywhere. They're going to the poor because they know they will participate if they get offered $5,000 to do it.
Right.
And they're told too, you don't have to go out there and kill people. Just don't leave. Just be there. And then you decide. And the more you're willing to participate, like they will have contact lenses with cameras, the more money will pay you. So that's why they choose an area, and that's why it seems like why is everybody a particular ethnic group or whatever. But what the movie does show, though, even that they do is that nobody's killing. Nobody's really. So they pick a poor area, but they're finding an excuse to party. So hey, parties are breaking out everywhere. Nobody wants to kill. Everybody wants to.
It's a block party.
Yeah. So saying that. So it's in a way the movie's saying that. See, you tell poor people go. We'll give you money, go kill each other, and they'll just party. So that to me that makes sense. That and obviously once they realize that that's not working, then the government gets involved and tries to make sure things are going to work. There's things that they do to because this experiment is to become successful. Because for them it's we live in a world where everybody's there's no health, everybody's suffering, there's low income, everybody's starving, and there's homelessness, and so they figured the solution for this is to have the one night that it's legal to commit crimes, to kill, to rape, to do a steal, to the government. They think that's the actual solution for that, and people will be purged, and then they feel fine. And now I can go to work the next day and I feel good. Now I'll be happy that there's still homelessness and suffering in the world. So, but the experiment is not working. So you see that they need to get involved somehow, and that's kind of what I give it away.
I thought the intent of the movie was even darker than that. I thought that wasn't that they would just go and feel better. I thought the point is they were going to get them to get rid of those people themselves.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought too.
So I have to say that
there's different levels, and that's another thing. That's another excuse to get rid of a particular group too.
Yes, it's and in this experiment,
and
right?
that's what made me sick.
But here's what when we first were going to do this movie again, I am not the horror or the comic book movies person. So I was like, okay, I got to watch this movie. So I watched it, and at first I was like, this is so stupid. I don't even believe the premise. In other words, I don't believe in other words, the local councilman is going to go along with this program. I don't believe, that this could happen. But then I thought about it. I mean, literally, as the movie went on, I actually liked it more because I was like, actually, the premise of the movie is what's happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's that it is what's happening. It's just put in such a shocking way.
Yes.
That you're like, like you said, you were horrified. But it's done in a different way. And it is done. And so I was still thinking about it like a day or two later. I was like, that movie was more interesting than I thought. It was kind of like I went in kicking and screaming like the Joker. I went in kicking and screaming. And I thought it was really, again, social commentary, done in a really like horror movie way kind of thing. So, yeah.
In kind of sci-fi, dystopian world kind of.
Yeah. Well, my problem was if you would have told me, okay, this is Narnia, and this is going on, I would have bought it. You know what I mean? In the beginning. Because I have to suspend. I don't know when things are like in Narnia, right? It's like, but
What's
if you
Narnia?
Tell me, it's a fictitious land. In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Right? When you go through the wardrobe, you end up you go into Narnia. But it's a fictitious world, so I believe it. I don't. Right? You're talking about a place that actually exists and people who exactly exist. So that's where I was having problems.
But it's still a futuristic world.
Yeah, but it doesn't even. No, it's not.
Not that far from the future.
It's not that far. It's not a futuristic movie at all. It's really making a social statement
again,
and in a backhanded kind of way. So, you know, it's like a sci-fi. No, it's not. It's like things are done differently, but that still happens. Yeah. Right? That's kind of the thing. So, yeah, Patty?
Well, the only thing I really liked about this movie is the premise of how it started, because I saw the first one, and the first one I thought with Ethan Hawke was great. But this one I did not like at all. It was, to me, it reminded me of 1970, what is it called? The black exploitation films.
Sure.
And I thought the acting was horrendous. I thought the sets were horrendous.
I think you mean the writing was horrendous.
And the writing was horrendous. I didn't like it at all. I found it very hard to watch. But the premise was so good, because I remember thinking, how would anybody start at a social experiment, which is so close to reality, is frightening, right? And all the social things behind it, yes. But the actual making of the movie and how it came about, I thought they could have done it so much better. But all it reminded me of was the 1970 black exploitation movies.
Well, it kind of was done in that way, I think.
I don't think it was done on purpose that way. I just didn't, that's what it was.
They had the feel. And also I thought...
It is the neighborhood they were in. It would be like if you were doing a poor part of Los Angeles.
Right.
You would have...
But you don't have like...
You wouldn't have Beverly Hills people.
But black exploitation movie is you have the pimp guy. You have the gang guy. You have the girl who stays at home and goes to school on time and blah, blah girl. I mean, it was
stereotypes.
Just... Stereotypes.
But also I thought...
Too many stereotypes.
Yeah.
Also
yeah, it was... And they were so badly implemented.
The acting was a little rough. But I also thought, wow, everybody's so good looking in Long Island.
It's so true.
I've been to Long Island. They're not that
young,
Okay. Okay, so let's
but I was to say,
okay.
If you watch, I mean, you haven't seen it, but if you watch the second one,
watch the first one, George. I can't believe you haven't watched the first one.
But the second one, the plot twist is just so.
The first one is the best.
And the third one,
we will do that movie.
The third one continues on the plot twist.
Okay, George, that has to be your next movie. You have to see the first one.
Okay, so I'm going to you, Patty. What would you give it?
6.
Okay.
1.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll stick with
1. I thought
6.
I'd upset you.
Yeah,
George, what did you say?
6.
I'm going to go with you. I would say... I might even go a little higher.
Don't go higher.
No, because you didn't like it. I started out not liking it, and then I did like it when I liked. I thought, again, when movies,
the intellectual parts of
it was trying to say something,
yeah. But it didn't. See, it didn't.
It did.
That gives it a 5.
It did say it. So that's why I'm going to go to 7.
Oh, liar!
Okay.
I give it. Okay, so
Sean.
we're on a schedule here.
We'll be back.